If you ever walked into a room where a classic film was playing, chances are you would see John Wayne commanding the screen. He was a towering figure in cinema, embodying the rugged cowboy and becoming a symbol of American culture. Yet, beneath this iconic image lies a complex legacy filled with rivalries and animosities. Wayne had a long list of actors he clashed with, some of whom are still prominent in Hollywood today. His disdain for certain individuals was palpable, and it often stemmed from personal beliefs and professional disagreements. For instance, his relationship with directors and actors like Steven Spielberg was particularly fraught, revealing a side of Wayne that many fans may not be aware of. The tension between them was not just a matter of artistic differences, it reflected deeper ideological divides that shaped their interactions. As we explore these rivalries, we uncover the reasons behind Wayne's intense feelings and how they influenced his career and the industry at large. The stories of these conflicts provide a fascinating glimpse into the man behind the legend, revealing a more contentious side to his character that contrasts sharply with his on-screen persona. As the sun dipped below the expansive horizons of the cinematic American West, one towering figure consistently dominated the landscape: John Wayne. Boasting a career spanning over 4 decades and a portfolio of more than 170 films, Wayne's impact on Hollywood is undeniable. His roles often evoked a vision of a resilient, unyielding America. In movies like True Grit, The Searchers, and Rio Bravo, Wayne embodied characters that mirrored these very qualities: gritty, tenacious, and fiercely patriotic. It is worth noting that his journey to stardom was far from meteoric. After starting with minor roles in the early 30s, Wayne spent nearly a decade on the fringes of Hollywood before securing his breakthrough role in John Ford's 1939 masterpiece Stagecoach, portraying the Ringo Kid. This multifaceted character navigated a morally complex landscape and heralded the advent of a new breed of Hollywood hero, one characterized by flaws yet unwavering principles. Throughout the 1940s and 50s, Wayne became synonymous with the Western genre. His collaboration with director John Ford yielded cinematic treasures like She Wore a Yellow Ribbon and Fort Apache. These films, rich in storytelling and character depth, showcased Wayne's ability to transcend the one-dimensional roles of his era, infusing his characters with layers of complexity. However, his influence extended beyond the realm of westerns. Wayne ventured into various genres, from war films like The Sands of Iwo Jima to romantic dramas such as The Quiet Man. In each of these diverse roles, Wayne brought an authenticity that deeply resonated with audiences, solidifying his status as one of the most significant box office draws of his era. What truly set Wayne apart was his off-camera persona, which closely mirrored the characters he portrayed on screen. His personal beliefs, political convictions, and confrontational demeanor seamlessly intertwined with his on-screen roles, blurring the boundaries between the actor and the character. Whether he portrayed a cowboy steadfastly facing down outlaws or a soldier defending his nation, audiences believed in him because, in many respects, he wasn't just performing, he was authentically himself. This authenticity resonated deeply with viewers, who saw in Wayne a reflection of their own values and ideals. His strong presence and unwavering confidence made him a symbol of American toughness and resilience. The characters he played often embodied the spirit of determination and honor, qualities that Wayne himself held dear. This connection between his real-life persona and his film roles created a lasting impact, making him not just an actor, but a cultural icon. His ability to project strength and integrity on screen was rooted in his genuine character, which endeared him to generations of fans. In the realm of Hollywood, John Wayne's influence extended far beyond his iconic roles on the silver screen. He was a man of strong convictions, unafraid to express his views, especially during politically charged times. As a staunch conservative, Wayne found himself in circles that supported the blacklisting of individuals suspected of communist affiliations. This political stance not only affected his relationships within the industry, but also played a significant role in the types of films he chose to participate in and the characters he brought to life. For example, in the film Big Jim McLean, Wayne portrayed a federal agent tasked with investigating communist activities, a role that resonated with his personal beliefs. His commitment to these ideals often shaped the narratives he supported, reflecting a broader cultural struggle during the Cold War era. Wayne's political influence was evident in his public statements and the way he navigated the complex landscape of Hollywood, making him a notable figure in both film and politics. When considering the iconic figures of cowboy cinema, John Wayne is often the first name that comes to mind, with Clint Eastwood following closely behind. Their careers, while both monumental, were marked by a simmering rivalry rooted in their differing philosophies of the Western genre. Wayne's films celebrated a traditional view of the Old West, portraying clear distinctions between good and evil. His characters embodied the quintessential American hero, brave and honorable, navigating narratives that emphasized justice and hope against rugged landscapes. In contrast, Eastwood's approach was grittier and more morally ambiguous. His characters, particularly the man with no name, often faced complex moral dilemmas, reflecting a more nuanced view of frontier life. Eastwood believed that to authentically depict the West, one must move beyond traditional binaries. Wayne criticized Eastwood's work, particularly High Plains Drifter, for its pessimism and perceived undermining of American values. Despite their differences, Eastwood sought collaboration, sending scripts to Wayne, who remained steadfast in his traditionalist views, even dismissing a script for the Hostiles. This subtle rivalry highlighted their contrasting filmmaking styles and philosophies, with Wayne favoring grand set pieces and sweeping shots, while Eastwood focused on intimate close-ups and a subdued color palette. Their interactions hinted at mutual respect, yet the divide in their visions for the Western genre remained evident. During the late 1970s, the film industry was undergoing significant changes, and this transformation created a rift between two iconic figures, John Wayne and Steven Spielberg. Spielberg, who was already celebrated for his blockbuster hits like Jaws, was in the process of creating his first Indiana Jones film. However, he had not yet earned the respect of John Wayne, a legendary actor known for his strong beliefs about the film industry. Wayne was a staunch advocate for traditional storytelling, where good triumphs over evil, and he disapproved of the increasing influence of morality and politics in Hollywood films. This ideological clash became evident when Spielberg offered Wayne a role in his film 1941. Instead of seeing it as an honor, Wayne reacted with a public outburst, expressing his disdain for both the film and Spielberg. He viewed the project as anti-American, particularly upset that a serious historical event like Pearl Harbor was being treated humorously. Despite Spielberg's attempts to persuade Wayne to reconsider, the actor remained firm in his beliefs, leading to a permanent divide between the two. As a result, they never collaborated, marking a significant moment in Hollywood history where differing visions of storytelling clashed dramatically. The palpable tension between John Wayne and Clark Gable during the golden era of Hollywood is a fascinating chapter in film history. Both actors were at the height of their careers when they worked together on the film Mambo in 1953, directed by the legendary John Ford. Ford was known for his unique directing style, which often drew powerful performances from his actors. He had a close working relationship with Wayne, having collaborated on classics like Stagecoach and The Searchers. However, the production of Mambo was fraught with difficulties, primarily due to the rivalry between Wayne and Gable. While the exact origins of their feud are unclear, it is often linked to their clashing egos and professional rivalry. Both actors were used to being the dominant figures on set, and Gable's polished charm contrasted sharply with Wayne's rugged demeanor. This difference in style led to minor disagreements that escalated into heated arguments. Ford, who was skilled at managing actor tensions, found himself struggling to mediate the animosity between the two stars. Gable felt that Ford favored Wayne, which only deepened the divide. One notable incident during a jungle shoot highlighted their conflict. A disagreement over a scene interpretation resulted in a heated exchange, with Gable storming off the set and Wayne visibly frustrated. The crew quickly recognized the bitter feud between the two leading men. Despite Mambo achieving commercial success, the challenges faced during its production were evident to all involved. After filming, Wayne and Gable chose to maintain a professional distance, rarely crossing paths again. The rift between John Wayne and James Arness adds another layer to the complex tapestry of Hollywood relationships. Both iconic figures in their own right, their initial connection started as a mentor-mentee dynamic and blossomed into a profound friendship. However, an unexpected twist altered the course of their association during the 1950s. When James Arness was a budding actor striving to find his place in Hollywood, it was John Wayne who extended his guidance, recognizing the young actor's immense potential. Wayne went a step further by personally endorsing Arness for the role of Matt Dillon in the television series Gunsmoke. This endorsement carried significant weight, as it came from the reigning cowboy of Hollywood. This pivotal gesture catapulted Arness to stardom, laying the foundation for one of the longest-running primetime dramas in television history. Their early collaborations were characterized by mutual respect and a deep sense of camaraderie. Wayne frequently praised Arnass's talent and unwavering commitment, while Arnass consistently acknowledged Wayne's pivotal role in his rapid ascent in the industry. Their off-screen friendship was punctuated by shared moments of enjoyment, including their mutual love for the outdoors, horseback riding, and occasional poker games. Nonetheless, the turning point in their relationship emerged with the Alamo Project in 1960. Wayne had nurtured this film as a labor of love, investing not only his heart and soul but also a substantial portion of his personal finances into its production. Envisioned as a magnum opus, the Alamo featured grand sets, epic battle sequences, and a heroic narrative. Wayne aimed to assemble a cast that shared his fervor and dedication to the project. Considering their history and Wayne's confidence in Arnass's abilities, it was only natural for him to extend a substantial role in the film to Arnass. However, what should have been an occasion for celebration soon soured. As the production dates drew near, Arnass, citing personal reasons and prior commitments, made the difficult decision to decline the offer. This choice did not sit well with Wayne. For Wayne, Arnass's refusal was more than just a professional disappointment. It felt like a personal betrayal. The Alamo held immense significance for Wayne. It represented his vision and unwavering commitment to the art of cinema. Having invested so much emotionally and financially, Arnass's decision seemed like a lack of faith in Wayne's dream. On Arnass's end, he had his own reasons, the exact nature of which remains a subject of speculation, with explanations ranging from prior commitments to concerns about the film's script and direction. What is certain, though, is that his decision created a divide between the two. The strain became evident in their subsequent public appearances. The warm exchanges and shared jokes were replaced by brief nods and a noticeable sense of distance. While neither publicly acknowledged the falling out, those around them couldn't help but notice the chilly atmosphere that had replaced their once warm relationship. From the outset, John Wayne's relationship with Gene Hackman was marked by tension, particularly during their interactions on the set of the unmade film Fort Apache. This project, set against the backdrop of the Wild West, would have showcased both actors' talents, but their differing acting styles created friction. Wayne, a veteran of the Western genre, relied on his natural charisma and laid-back approach, while Hackman, known for his method acting, immersed himself deeply in his roles. This divergence became a source of conflict, as Wayne criticized Hackman's intense approach, suggesting it was excessive. He was overheard saying to a crew member that they were there to act, not live the part. Hackman perceived these comments as condescending, which only heightened the tension between them. As filming progressed, Wayne's strong personality led him to offer suggestions to the director about scene placements and dialogue, which Hackman viewed as intrusive. During a particularly charged scene, Wayne openly critiqued Hackman's emotional delivery, implying it was overdone. Hackman, never one to back down, countered by suggesting Wayne should try some authentic acting for a change. The atmosphere on set became thick with unspoken conflict, and the crew watched in silence, unsure of how the situation would unfold. To ease the rising tension, the director called for a break. After Fort Apache, their relationship remained strained. In interviews, Wayne often lamented the acting styles of modern actors, subtly referencing Hackman's methods. Conversely, Hackman spoke about the importance of authenticity in acting, hinting at those who merely portrayed themselves on screen, a clear nod to Wayne. This ongoing tension highlighted the complexities of their professional relationship, rooted in their contrasting approaches to acting and the pressures of Hollywood. Now, here's an interesting tale involving Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra was a man who firmly held to his ideals, and if he had ill feelings towards someone, those sentiments usually endured a lifetime. John Wayne, an iconic figure with contrasting traits and political views, was one of the few exceptions to this rule. While they reportedly had their clashes, they ultimately remained friends. Frank Sinatra, at one point in his life, leaned liberal enough to attract the FBI's attention for over 41 years. He openly supported anti-racist, anti-fascist, and international causes, and was a member of the Independent Citizens Committee of the Arts, which included influential members like Duke Ellington, Albert Einstein, and Eleanor Roosevelt. Lieutenant in contrast, John Wayne remained a staunch conservative throughout his life, and was associated with right-wing anti-communist groups like the John Birch Society. Their differing political affiliations even reached the realm of their film work. Frank hired Alfred Maltz, a screenwriter who was on the communist blacklist, to write the screenplay for the execution of Private Slovik. John publicly responded to this collaboration by suggesting that the press should inquire about Frank's opinion from his crony John F. Kennedy. Due to public outcry, Maltz was eventually fired. When Frank and John appeared at the same Hollywood benefit, it was reported that Frank walked off stage when John took the microphone, and their subsequent conversation was heated. There is uncertainty surrounding whether the two men engaged in physical altercations, as some reports claim they fought after the awkward benefit incident. John refuted these claims soon after, and his comments to the press contradicted any rumors or indications of enmity. He expressed his liking for Frank, and referred to him as the backbone of the entertainment that evening. Frank also stated they were still friends, and even proposed acting together in films. Another alleged incident took place in Las Vegas during the 1960s. John was staying in a hotel near the film set he was working on, and Frank was in the room directly above, hosting a party. The noise was so loud that John called Frank's room asking them to quiet down. This pause in the noise was short-lived. John called again but received no answer. The story goes that John then descended to Frank's room and knocked on the door, demanding they lower the noise or face consequences. A bodyguard arrived and informed him that no one speaks to Mr. Sinatra that way. Allegedly, John left, but on his way back, he backhanded the bodyguard, and the noise ceased. Despite their differences in views and reported clashes, these two stars eventually mended their friendship. The catalyst for their reconciliation may have been John's declining health as he battled stomach cancer. Frank's fourth wife, Barbara Marx, recounted their special relationship in Scott Eamon's book, John Wayne: The Life and Legend. She remembered visiting John at his home in Newport, and described how they remained buddies despite their almost complete dissimilarity. Frank was deeply saddened to see his friend in such a deteriorating state, which may have prompted their reconciliation. It was indeed a peculiar but heartwarming transformation. John Wayne, a towering figure in Hollywood, wasn't just an actor. He represented a specific version of America defined by traditional values, rugged individualism, and unwavering patriotism. Beyond the silver screen, Wayne was a man of strong convictions, and it was these beliefs, combined with his larger-than-life personality, that often led to conflicts with his peers. At the core of many of Wayne's disputes was his unwavering conservatism. Born in the early 20th century, his values were shaped by significant events like the Great Depression, World War II, and the Cold War. As the 1960s unfolded, with civil rights movements and anti-war protests, Wayne found himself at odds with a changing America and a Hollywood that leaned increasingly liberal. His personal beliefs, deeply rooted in his love for America, were unapologetically conservative. He was an ardent anti-communist and a supporter of the Vietnam War, often skeptical of the civil rights movement's methods, even if he recognized the legitimacy of its goals. These positions frequently put him on a collision course with fellow actors, directors, and producers who held opposing views. Wayne's demeanor was assertive and often confrontational, meaning disagreements could escalate quickly in an industry known for its egos. His conflicts were not solely the result of ideological differences. The world of Hollywood is complex, filled with its own politics and personal dynamics. Some of Wayne's disputes arose from professional rivalries or misunderstandings. Yet, one cannot ignore the role his conservatism played in many disagreements. As Hollywood became more progressive, Wayne's views made him an outlier. He often felt ostracized or mocked for his beliefs, which solidified his position and made him more combative. Despite being frequently embroiled in disputes, Wayne was deeply respected, even by those who disagreed with him. His dedication to his craft, undeniable talent, and contributions to the film industry were universally acknowledged. Many who sparred with him politically or personally also spoke of his kindness, generosity, and loyalty. As the final curtain descended on John Wayne's illustrious Hollywood career, introspection began to cast its long shadows. They say time is a great healer, and for Wayne, the later chapters of his life were marked by a desire to mend past divisions and reflect on the choices he had made both in front of the camera and behind the scenes. By the late 1970s, the robust cowboy, the unwavering soldier, and the patriotic icon were revealing signs of vulnerability. Behind the tough exterior of his on-screen personas lay a man grappling with his own mortality. Cancer had become an unwelcome companion, and as Wayne confronted the fragility of life, a noticeable shift occurred in his demeanor and outlook. The once fiery and confrontational figure began to adopt a more conciliatory tone, seeking closure and understanding. One poignant example of this transformation was his effort to mend fences with individuals with whom he had previously clashed. Recognizing the fleeting nature of life and the insignificance of many past disagreements, Wayne reached out to old friends and adversaries alike. While not all rifts could be fully repaired, there were moments of genuine reconciliation. His political views, although remaining conservative, also began to evolve, reflecting a broader understanding of societal changes. In interviews, he expressed regret for some of his previous statements and acknowledged the importance of progress, especially in civil rights. While he didn't undergo a complete ideological shift, there was a noticeable softening of his earlier staunch positions. This period of reflection and reconciliation extended beyond his public life. Privately, Wayne became more introspective, pondering his legacy and what he would leave behind. He admitted to past mistakes and engaged in heartfelt conversations with family members about the values he hoped would define the Wayne name for generations to come. Among the bridges Wayne sought to rebuild, his relationship with his children was of particular significance. While he had always been a devoted father, the demands of stardom often kept him away from home, leading to feelings of neglect and estrangement. However, in his later years, Wayne made a conscious effort to be present, to listen, and to provide guidance. He aimed to ensure that despite the tumult of his life, his children knew they were his top priority. In Hollywood, Wayne's efforts at reconciliation were met with mixed responses. While many appreciated his gestures, others remained skeptical, wondering whether this was a mere public relations ploy or genuine remorse. Yet those closest to him vouched for the authenticity of his intentions. His actions weren't driven by a fear of public perception, but by a genuine desire to make amends. One of the most touching moments of Wayne's later years was his acceptance of the Oscar for Best Actor for his role in True Grit in 1969. Standing on that stage, it was a culmination of his life's journey, filled with gratitude, humility, and an acknowledgement of shared experiences with peers, including those he had once been at odds with. The standing ovation he received wasn't just recognition of his performance, but a nod to his enduring